What's up, shellheads? Welcome back to the Layer Dudes and Dudettes. Today, as you can see, we are checking out something different because we're going all the way back. Not back to last year getting back into Magic, not back 11 years ago playing Magic, but back to the OG, the GOAT of trading cards, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A variety of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a lifetime collection, a lot of other stuff, and I can't wait to get into it. And I've got all kinds of random turtle stuff just all over the place. The cards are one thing. Hot Wheel, Party Wagon, that'll always be the turtle van to me. We've got Michelangelo Nightlight. We've got that hilarious patch from the NECA capsule collection that we looked at a while back. All kinds of random turtle stuff all over the place in here, but today it's all about these cards. These things were huge when I was growing up, and if memory serves, these may have actually been bubblegum cards. I didn't do any research going back to all these. I literally got all my old cards out of a box that I found and just sleeved them up so we could look through them. I actually recorded the sleeving and talked about all kinds of turtle stuff before I realized that I had sleeved them all in the sleeves wrong, so I had to take them all out and do it again. But we've got a variety of these things to go through today, so let's get into it here. We'll move our old Ninja Turtle wrapping paper. Look at that, dude. Vintage TMNT wrap. So the interesting thing that I wanted to talk about with these, this first bit is a complete set. But what you'll notice, and some of you may have already noticed it already, as you go through this, you've got stills from the TV show, sometimes two stills of the animation cells. They've got this weird thing where like they'll have a name of a character, and even though that's possessive, Splinters, they've got to throw the trademark behind Splinter, which I think is hilarious. And this is all, I think this is all, this first bit anyway, is all from the first season, which was only 5 episodes. It came out a few months after I was born, so I can't say I was there for the OG, but I had the tapes. I've got the whole collection on DVD over there. I watched this on syndication all the time when a babysitter was taking care of me, letting me watch Ninja Turtles while she did whatever. So I've got fond memories of all this stuff. And this first season of the show, if you haven't seen it or you haven't seen it in a while, is really fucking good. It's basically an anime. And if you watch that show and then watch the rest of the show afterwards, you will see an incredible difference in the animation quality. And it strikes that, it's much like the 1990 movie, it strikes that perfect balance of kid-friendly but also kind of mature themes and really cool, crazy science fiction stuff. This is what the back of the cards look like on this version. That's important, so remember that for later on. It's got the logo, it's got the number on the shell, collect all 66 TMNT cards, and then it's got a little description of what's going on there. These are in an order that we can sort through and look at the numbers. Let me pull out that Metamorphosis card so you can kind of see some differences here that I think are interesting. There's Metamorphosis card 12. There's Metamorphosis, wait a minute, card 17? Now those are exactly the same card. It's kind of hard to tell with the glare on it. Exactly the same, other than the quality, obviously, and one's a little sun-bleached and crinkled than the other one. The back of this card looks pretty similar to the backs of these other cards. Font's a little different. Obviously, this one's a little more discolored. The stock is more like cardboard on these. But why does that say 66 and this says 88? Why does that say TMN? Wait a minute. Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What the hell's going on here? What's going on, my friends, is this. And I'm sure if you're a big Turtles fan, you were already well aware of it. You're probably aware of it as soon as you saw this box. This box tells the story in one line, made in the Republic of Ireland by Topps Ireland Limited. So wait, these are some weird Irish Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cards? No. These are Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles cards because this is from the UK version of the show. You'll notice, if you're just looking, it's like, oh, Raph, Mikey, Leo, Don. Why do they all have weapons except Mikey? Why does this series of cards start 16, 17, 18, And then 15 is Splinter. Oh, other page, sorry. 19, it's under that stack, is Shredder. It's because they could never show Michelangelo with his nunchucks. That was a big no-no in the United Kingdom. And so they changed the name of the show. They had to edit out parts of the show with the nunchucks. And that's why there's 66 of these cards and 88 of these cards. It's also the hero ninja difference. They couldn't even call them ninjas. What a crazy world, man. Fascinating to me. But yeah, these cards, they're all basically the same, but there's going to be some, differences between the two. I loved the Ninja Pizza part of that episode. They go to Ninja Pizza, home of the nice slice. See that card? Hero and a half shell? You are never going to see that in Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because they can't show the Chucks. Not fellow Chuckers, eh? But yeah, I would highly recommend checking out the first season of that show again. Even if you're like, I'm too old for that shit. It's excellent. It's really well done. First several seasons of that show were pretty good before it starts getting very much into kid cartoon territory, and that's okay for what it is. These are the second series that they put out. It's Goons and Harpoons. This has got also some just awesome artwork from it. Several from the Usagi Yojimbo stories there. And you'll notice the backs are different. Still have our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Still have our number, although it's on a pizza slice and black background, different color. But they did a really nice job with these cards, man. And these trading cards were huge back in the day. They printed the shit out of them, though, so you can definitely find them for a very decent price online. You can certainly find these for a very decent price online because they aren't very high demand. But the only thing that possibly rivals those, or maybe even surpasses them as far as cool factor, are these in the old wax packs from Topps from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. And these are super awesome. So again, these are all in order. I don't think I have all of these, but again, I have more of them somewhere. I just haven't uncovered the trove, the hoard yet. Kind of odd that the first card, and this is the first card in the series, it's got continued on Leonardo on the back because it's got a little thing of Mikey holding the pizza. It's got a little description in the title, continued on card number, and tells you what the next card you're looking for in the set is. So yeah, cool stuff. Leo. Don kind of gets the shaft. It's a very famous misprint because it's obviously Leonardo. It's just the light. I mean, between the two, yes, if you have those two images side by side and you're only looking at his headband, sure, that looks purple because of the lighting in April's Antique Mall. But the katana ninjatos that are on Leo, obviously his face mask, Donnie's looks totally different. The eyes especially look totally different. Anyway, that's one of the many famous ones in here. There's another one I'll show you in a little bit. I also love that there's just a straight up Chief Stearns trading card out of everything in here. But yeah, man, some incredible stills. All of them really good captures. That one's a little shadowy. About one dangerous dude, but really cool stuff. And again, these were a very big deal. Got another interesting misprint here. This is clearly the farmhouse, although it says April's pad, where the tub is, even though that does look like it could be the outside of the apartment. It's obviously not an apartment door. And that's where they come in and they see Leo and Raph after Raph wakes up in the tub. But, Judith Hoag's looking at the camera, and they're having a few yucks on the set. Unusual house guest. Anyway, it's kind of weird because it does jump from these, which are clearly from later in the movie, then to the frozen pizza party, which is before they go to the farmhouse outside the city. So just some little things that an intern or somebody messed up there. The 90s movie also, if you haven't seen it in a while, definitely worth a rewatch. I wager it's not just the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It's a really, really good movie. There's a lot to celebrate about that thing as a piece of film. Not to mention the fact for a long time it was the most successful independent film ever made. And one day, I don't know if he'll do it often, there's a guy who does film screenings. Sometimes he'll do them at the location where some of the film was made. He does them for a lot of horror movies, but he has done TMNT from 1990 at the farmhouse where they shot it in North Carolina. And I think one time Judith Hoag even came to it and signed autographs and stuff. And you could watch the movie out there. Well, it's pretty cool. But yeah, lots of cool trading cards. The Soprano Maker Strikes. Look at that one. Armed and Anxious. Just these weird names for some of these things. Shredder pours it on. At the end of the movie, Until Next Crime. And then we got some cool behind the scenes going on here. Eastman and Laird hanging out with Leo, reading the comic. The crew getting everybody set up to do a shot. Incredible work on that film. And then we got some stickers, plus an extra up here in the corner I want to talk about. This is also home of one of the famous misprints, because we got Raph, right? Obviously Raph in the subway when he fights the Foot and he brings April O'Neil back to the turtle lair. And then we've got Raph again, according to whoever made this, which it's clearly a different mask. And it's clearly Michelangelo holding the pizza in the lair, but they called it Raph. These are stickers, and they don't stick well. I bought some pretty cool pins from this guy online. I think it was maybe from Ninja Turtles, and I think he sent me a couple of cards. Actually, I think it was the other one, the fake Leo, the Donatello, and then this Michelangelo being retitled as Raph. And so I peeled this to stick it on something down here in the basement. And of course, it's like a 35-year-old sticker at this point. It did not stick well. Had to put some tape over it, but it still looks great. Print quality is really good. Limited run. Let's briefly talk about that. This was an extra that was included in the collector's edition of Shredder's Revenge. I did a whole video on that, but I haven't released it. It's not the nicest video. Nothing critical against the game at all. A little critical of the weight, and more so critical of the wait times what we had to wait for with that set. This card came with that ding, and you can't tell because it's in the sleeve, but it's a little off. It's bent and dinged up there in the corner, but it's a cool extra. I really like it. I haven't seen any of the others. I haven't looked for any of the others. It's number 134, so I have to assume there's some more of them, but it's kind of a neat extra. I did enjoy it, and it's right at home in the collection, especially on this page full of red. And then, of course, we've got some assorted stuff here. We've got some cards from TMNT II, Secret of the Use. Also tons of fun. Also very well worn. Also very cardboardy. You can just tell, even on the video, how that card stock is. But had to keep it cheap because they were printing a ton of them. And then we've got these sticker cards from TMNT II and the cartoon that would form, so you collect them all, and they would form some kind of puzzle image on the back, which I obviously didn't do, but they're very cool. And I remember buying these. You could find them at grocery stores, Walmart, things like that. And then also the other thing that I distinctly remember getting at a grocery store that I thought was awesome, which I unfortunately no longer have, are the sticker albums for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. And it was like a magazine that you would flip open, but it would have these spots with an outline, the number. It would tell you what card went there, and you would peel the sticker off and put it in the place in the album, and then you would collect all the cards that way, and it would basically, like these, tell the story of the movie, but in sticker album form. This is a pretty neat idea. I've seen them for other films, and I never had any except for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I really wish I could find one of those. I haven't looked too hard for one, but I think I will, just because I really like these. I think they're neat. And they're a very fun, way to kind of revisit the series if you don't have time or you don't feel like popping in a whole disc, watching the whole episode, pouring one up online. But the other thing that I just love about them is the weirdness. Such a good illustration of that really weird thing where they couldn't call them Ninja Turtles or show the nunchucks or anything. I just find that so interesting. There you have it, folks. There is a bevy of Ninja Turtle stuff, and I've got tons more that we'll look at. I know a lot of people are digging on The Last Ronin and getting ready for, that eventual, the buzz about the movie and the game and all that stuff. And, I'm excited. Anything that brings the Turtles kind of back into the forefront where they belong, in my opinion, after years and years and years of this being around and so many iterations. Every time they come out with something, I like to check it out and see how it does. And usually I don't have many if anything, negative to say about them. Varying degrees of how much I really love them and respond to them. But as a whole, this is, I think, a really strong franchise. There's something to this. And if you ever are curious about kind of where it all started as far as the rise, I mean, the comic book is the true genesis point, but as far as how this became the cultural phenomenon that it is, that's lasted, what, over 40 years at this point, these are some great places to start. The cartoon, the original movies with the suit actors, the classic spot. We've got action figures we've got to talk about. We've got crazy books with audio buttons we've got to talk about, and we will discuss all of those things and more. Trust me. But just wanted you guys to kind of take a step back through time with me to simpler times when getting a pack of trading cards wasn't about pulling a rare foil or a serialized this or building a commander deck that. It was all about, man, what cards, what scenes from this show, what cool turtle stuff are we going to pull out? And there's something pure and something wholesome and something to be celebrated about that, I think. But never fear, we've got way too many Magic cards for one person to deal with to open still. So we'll have more packs to crack. Until then, scoop them up. Sealed packs, including these, are for cowards. And until next time, cowabunga, dudes, and peace.